My question is going to be, what do you think of the new Taylor Swift album?
I think it's very good.
Okay. How many albums is this now? This is a lot.
This is the 12th.
12th,
I think not
okay.
including the Taylor's versions
Right.
that have been coming out.
Of course. Which aren't necessary now. Apparently, she got her master's
No,
back.
she's got them back.
Yeah,
so that was just like a fun, thing we all got to do.
Right.
But
whole reason for the Eras tour, right?
That's right, all of it.
That's my biggest fear with the new album. It's like, how is she going to tour this? Like, how does she top the Eras tour? And I guess we'll find out. Man.
Well, the instinct is to go down, right? Is to make it smaller.
Yeah, just do house shows.
Do theaters,
Right.
Lady Gaga, when she did the
Could you imagine if Taylor Swift was playing at the Township Auditorium, how much the ticket would cost?
Oh, see, I'm thinking like the Senate. I'm thinking like 500 people, because she doesn't need the money.
No, but she could do 3,000.
Right.
And they would probably be 10,000 apiece.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. They could. Would you pay 10,000 to go see Taylor in a small theater?
I would think about it. I was thinking about it just then. Oh my gosh. But the new album's fantastic. It was like that classic. The first time I listened through it, I'm like, it's a flop. She didn't do it. And then like 5 minutes later, every song's my favorite song. It's wonderful.
Now, it's because you have an emotional connection to Taylor, right? Because she was there for you at a point that you needed her to be, right?
Yeah.
That type of relationship.
Right, which has been every point of my life.
Right.
Since
she's
15.
grown with you, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And also you feel like you know who every song is about,
sure.
And like you have to decode it, and it's great.
That's awesome. That's a good. So I know a lot of your social media in the past has been Taylor related. Mm-hmm. Is that going to be with the new album? Are you tracking anything? I saw a friend of mine, my age, I think she's 49 or 50, just posted a in-depth review of this album. And I know she's not a fan, because I know her and I know she's not a fan. She went through every single song and said, here's what I like about this song. Here's what I like about, and I'm just going, she's doing this to get social media,
attraction.
She's doing it to be part of the story.
Right. Right.
But that's not why you were doing it.
No, I was doing it to explain SEO.
But you were also doing it because of your connection, right?
Yeah. Because I truly love her. I haven't created any new Taylor Swift content as of late. I did recycle some when this came out.
I guess if you're going to talk about SEO, you might as well talk about it with a subject matter that you like.
Right.
It makes it a lot easier.
Use it as
and
an
more
example.
Fun.
Yeah. Well, welcome back to As Told by You. We've got Jade Pruett in the house for the second time, so this is really exciting. We don't have any third time guest yet, so maybe you could be our third time at some point, but thanks for coming back. Kind of an expert in all things SEO, and so we wanted to talk a little bit about that because I think it's a subject that doesn't get enough conversation. Marketing is all about social media and all about all these things. I guess Instagram also recently integrated their content into the social media, the SEO mix, and so we could talk about all that stuff. So apart from Taylor Swift, one of the topics that I wanted to ask about was AI search. And I guess we're calling it, what are we calling it? Are we calling it AGO?
If we're going to call it anything, I guess AEO.
AEO.
That's the one I keep slipping up and saying now. I want to call it, SEO for AI or just SEO. Yeah.
Because
new channels.
It's still searching, right?
Yeah. These are new search engines. People want them to be answer engines or AI whatever engines.
Right.
We can't just say AIEO.
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 Go and finish it out.
LLMO.
Yeah.
There's so many.
There's so many ways to do it. This is a thing that it appears to be disrupting your industry. It appears to be coming in with SEO where people have it kind of figured out, even though Google changes their rules every couple of months. But you got a pattern, you got a way of doing it. And this seems disruptive. Tell me about the disruption of AI and SEO and how's that going? What does it look like right now?
Yeah. So my backstory, I started Hello SEO as a side hustle. had to work up to matching my income at a tech company in California while working there full time to be able to quit. Finally got to quit in October of 2022, so 3 years ago this month. And then November 30th of that year, ChatGPT is born and just totally rocks every industry. Like, we have no idea what's going to happen with this. And from that moment forward, I knew this was going to completely change SEO. It was a matter of when, essentially. And also it was going to be a matter of like, am I going to learn, and how are we as an industry going to learn to manipulate this to show the results we want? So that was just kind of lingering in the back of my head for the past 2.5 years. We knew we had no way to do any sort of keyword research. Like, there's no way to know how people are utilizing this, who's utilizing it, and for what reasons. We're like very slowly discovering these things, but there's no SEMrush or like Ahrefs to just go in and do the keyword research and figure it out.
And I'm assuming OpenAI is not giving us a framework or
they
anything.
are not giving us anything
Right.
if they can help it.
Of course.
And then of course, like, we can't see the other end of it either, like how people are showing up. There's not like a clear 1 to 10 ranking. There's no first page of ChatGPT. So it's just like a giant question mark of how this is going to happen.
So you can't do a prompt on ChatGPT to say, give me the 10 things that I need to do in order to optimize my website for AI search.
The answer's so generic, it's like it's impossible to implement.
But
the answer is be the best. It's like we talked about before. The answer is be the best choice. That's the answer, and it's not a great answer. It's like we want a step by step, right?
Definitely.
So it's tough, and what I'm seeing, of course, Gemini's in the mix too, because when you do a search on Google now, the Gemini result is the first result.
Totally. And there's AI mode within
Right.
Google.
Right.
So they at least have like 2 competing against themselves.
Yeah.
And then there's ChatGPT, Perplexity, Quad, the rest of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, as of April of this year, I was doing my monthly reporting for my clients, and I started seeing revenue coming in from ChatGPT for a few of them. Mm-hmm. And what we had expected was maybe like B2B SaaS companies, like large tech companies, were going to be the first.
Who are already in the tech mindset.
Yeah. Like, they're going to be the first ones to see any like return from even attempting to do anything with AI. But it was like travel agencies, like local plumbers, like all different industries, like children's products, like different things like that are all showing up in AI and getting clicked on. And then like people are going through the entire journey and converting.
Yeah. That's wild. So tell me about your perspective on this. So like as somebody who's been in the SEO space for a while, what is your perspective on AI? Is this something where you're going like, I've got to learn this because it's happening? Or you're like, I hate this, I don't want it to happen, I'm gonna go the other direction? How are you approaching it?
I think very early on, I wanted to be like, this is not happening, and we can just ignore this and it's going to go away. I might have shared this last time. Someone gave me the advice to basically just don't be Kodak. Mm-hmm. Like, you have to like adapt with the times. And with Kodak, they didn't want to adapt to the digital camera, and now
even though they invented the digital camera, which is insane.
That is insane. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, the very first digital camera was a Kodak.
Wow.
Yeah.
But anyway, you have to stay curious. You have to stay interested. And every once in a while, it gets really intimidating. I went to SEO Week in New York this year, and every single presentation was about AI search, and none of them like complemented each other. They were just all completely different takes.
Right.
And in moments like that, it is easy to get very scared. But from the work I'm doing, we can see, and it's clear if you ask Google how much market share they have, they'll let you know in a featured snippet. They still have 89% of the market share. It's not dropping that quickly.
Yeah.
And so at the moment, AI search is like this really cool thing to explore. It's like an icing on the cake. I just did all of my reports for September. A lot of my clients did get leads and sales from ChatGPT, especially. So like we want to be optimizing for it, but the majority is still with Google at the moment.
Well, I can tell you my wife talks to her ChatGPT a lot. And if she wants to know something, and I'll tell you something we had the other day, we had humidity in our house that we could not figure out where it was coming from. And it was causing her allergies to flare up. And she asked ChatGPT, like, hey, why would I have extra humidity in my house? And it came down to the AC was set on instead of auto. So the fan was blowing all the time. And she has the smooth male voice on there. And it's really disconcerting for me to hear her talking to him, because it's like, it's a little on the nose. You know what I mean? He's like, yeah, you should check check and see if your fan is set to on or auto. That should probably handle it for you. So she did it, and it fixed the problem. I'm like, we didn't have to call an HVAC company or anything. She just solved it through ChatGPT. And I think my wife is the indication to me. Like, once she starts to do something, I go, it's happening.
This is happening.
It's happening because she's doing it, right? A lot of the younger people I run across are rejecting it as hard as they can go, because I feel like they're worried about being replaced, which is probably not a terrible thing to worry about. But it's interesting how older people, and I say older meaning like over 30 or whatever, we're trying to go, I need to learn this because I know this is happening, because
Right.
I've seen this happen several times already with phones and with the internet and with whatever entertainment, streaming, all this stuff. All of these revolutions have happened, and we're like, but I'm seeing younger people. My daughter will not use AI. Like, our Alexa at our house just changed the voice. I don't know if this has happened to you, but she came on the other day. We set a timer or whatever, and she's like, by the way, I have new voices. If you'd like to try some of them out. And we're like, all right, cool. What's up? And so she put a new voice on, and it's the ChatGPT style. She goes, let me check on that for you.
Wow.
That kind of stuff, and, but my daughter will not talk to Alexa like that. She's like, I want it to sound like a robot because it's a robot. And, so I think the idea of rejecting it is an interesting.
It's going to make him mad, and that's what's going to make him take over the world.
Right.
You
Well,
gotta
that's
be nice to him.
Didn't we learn?
I
that
always
from,
use please.
Didn't we learn that from 2001? Like Hal says, I don't think you should shut me down, Dave. And you go, uh-oh, now what? So, but it sounds like your perspective is you're saying this is happening. We got to learn how to deal with it.
Yeah, and there are true, like, real environmental impacts happening. There's a lot going on, but I think I'm with you. I've seen enough of these to be like, it's out of the box.
Yeah.
You can't put it back in. This is where we're going.
Yeah, and so with the idea of it being out of the box, do you see? Because as far as in my memory, since Google became the thing, right? When you say searching became Googling, right? Since it's become the thing, this is the first time I've seen any decline in Google search. Is that right?
It has not dropped below 90% market share in the last 15 years.
Wow.
So even just like bumping to 89.95% is very shocking.
Yeah. Google's going to be fine. They've got a lot going on.
I think they're going to be okay.
They're okay. They've diversified, enough. So
they do have a lot going on.
I think they'll be okay. But the honest truth is, I started looking into it as a pedestrian. I've only done so much SEO work as to say, Jade, help me with my SEO. And you would tell me things, and that's as much research as I've done. But I tried to look into this AI search, and the answers I got were just, be the best choice. And that's not helpful enough. What would you tell somebody if they're trying to make their company, the kind of the most searchable by AI?
So there are some ranking factors that we know of now, and they're kind of fun because they're the opposite of Google. Meta descriptions matter a whole lot now. For context, meta descriptions are what is under the blue link in a Google search. They have not mattered for SEO the entire time I've been doing it. 68% of the time, Google is going to rewrite it to whatever it wants it to be anyway, and it was never a ranking factor to begin with. But now, all the AI bots are using those to skim your website, they need to get as much information as they can as quickly as possible. They have about 1 to 5 seconds to look at any given page. So they're going to like start reading a blog and then drop off after a second. So you need to give them good meta descriptions to really understand what the context of the page is. Schema markup is really important. That's an extra layer of data that you can add to any page to just let them, again, like read it faster. The original use of schema markup was to just show up in Google searches like in cool ways. Like if you Google a recipe and it tells you how many calories it has or how long it's going to take to make it, that's schema markup. But now the AI bots are using it to like quickly get the information they need. TLDRs, or like key takeaways, anything you can put near the top of a blog post is going to seriously help, because again, it's like giving them that information
Summarizing
really quickly.
it,
Yeah. I've been putting TLDRs on my blog posts for a couple of years, and I had no idea why they were showing up better than my clients in AI until we like cracked the case on that one. But other than that, being very like direct as to like who your website is for. So for you guys, you might want to be like very explicit on the homepage, like we are for nonprofits, and that's going to help you as well. AI search is obviously so much more bespoke than Google is, and it's really going to reward businesses that are doing what they say that they're doing, and also they're going to show up for the people that they need to show up for. So like it's not just as easy as Googling like SEO agency and like getting one in your area. It's like, oh, are you like a small woman-owned business between like these amounts of like money and revenue every year? Like you're probably going to get sent to me.
I find that when I'm doing searches in ChatGPT, I'm a lot more specific about who I am and what I want, right? So if I'm doing a search on Google, I'm trying to hit keywords that work.
Yeah.
But if I'm in ChatGPT, I'm saying, I've got this problem with my car. I think it might be this thing. Do you know somebody that can help me fix it? And then they, mine's name is Charlie. He's British. Charlie would be like, oh, let me figure that out for you, and then he'll come back and say, I think it's probably this, but this guy does, whatever. And, like when we were in DC in April, we went up to DC in April with my wife and daughter, and we wanted to have some food that we can't get in Columbia. So I went to ChatGPT and I said, we're in DC, we're from Columbia, South Carolina. We would like to get food in DC that we can't get in Columbia. What would you recommend? And so it recommended us going to an Ethiopian restaurant, which we don't have in Columbia.
Yeah.
And gave me, list and directions and ratings. And then I got a reservation, it all happened inside ChatGPT. Never even went to Google, for that. And I don't know whether it's tapping on those resources and all that stuff, but the interface is so much more kind of fluid, when you look at it that way. I also heard that Reddit is a big contributor to AI search. Yeah.
So AI pulls from all different sources, and that is one thing you can try to like do a search similar to what you would want your ICP to search for, and see, number one, if you're coming up, but also what sources they're pulling from. Because it could be people's websites, or it could be Reddit, it could be Quora, different things like that, which is also very old school SEO that's kind of like coming back around.
Right.
And sometimes it's going to pull from like a list that's ranked in like the 20th position in Bing or something like that. So just knowing where it's getting its information and then putting yourself in those places, of course, will be helpful.
So what do you see happening? I mean, how do you see this developing over the course of time? I know, it's funny, if you had asked somebody about cell phones in 2007, they probably would have said it's just going to keep getting smaller, or they're going to make them flippier or whatever it is, and then the iPhone comes out and changes it all. Where do you feel like it's headed?
Yeah, that's a fun one too. When I got into SEO, the big thing was voice search, and they said that by 2025 like 90% of searches would be voice search, which has not happened.
Right.
No one really adapted too well to Alexa and Siri. Like they have their purposes, but it's not all of the searches, and people thought that brands were going to cease to exist because like we were just going to be speaking what we need into the ether. Yeah. With this though, it feels like it's going to keep on going. Yeah. People are going to continue to adapt to it and use it in different ways. It's something to think about. Like I have a 15-month-old, and it's like, what is his future going to look like? with this type of technology coming out. I think it's here to stay for sure.
Yeah. They, Sora just got an update yesterday to do image generation. And so image generation is our version of AI search, right? Where we see it. And I hear people saying they're making ads with AI generated content, which I see, happening. I think right now people have a nose for it, right? Like right now they can smell it and they go, this isn't real.
Right.
I'm good. Like I'm not going to participate with this thing if it's not real. But I think there's going to be a time very soon where it becomes real. It becomes like where you very much can't tell if that's a real thing or not.
Right.
And I think that's going to change everything. I'm curious about the interface for search, because for ChatGPT, I've got to go into ChatGPT to do the search. With Gemini, I'm searching on Google and it gives me that option. Now the search option in Gemini is not always something that I read even, because if I'm doing a Google search, I'm looking for those links. That's what I wanted. I didn't want a summarization of the topic necessarily. I just wanted that. Is there, because like I know, I'll tell you another one of those things that didn't happen was VR. Like VR was supposed to be a huge thing, right?
Oh yeah.
Didn't happen. It's very cool. If you get a chance to use an Oculus, it's pretty wild. I mean, playing a game in an Oculus is insane. But because of the goggles, nobody's going to do it because it's so hard to get into the thing. What does that look like for search? Do you feel like the interface is going to get integrated somehow into browsers, or do you feel like it's going to continue to be its own standalone thing, or does that serve OpenAI for it to be its own thing?
That's kind of like a wait and see. There was actually some stuff about Apple purchasing Perplexity recently. I don't know if that has gone through or not. But if it turns into one of those things where Apple just decides to make Perplexity the choice search on its phones, then suddenly we are in that world. At SEO Week, actually, they showed us how difficult it is to change your preferred search engine on an iPhone. It's like a 16-step process. So it's like if they decide to make a move like that, then that's just where we live. But it does seem like at the moment we search different things in the different robots. Like sometimes you just want a straightforward answer, or you want an address or something. You're going to go to Google. And Google is far more trustworthy than these other sources.
Oh, sure. Right.
Anyway, I was trying to Google the population of Greenville today at lunch, and you would not believe how vast the results were.
What does it even mean, right? What does the population of a town even mean? And it's a lot of that stuff that AI does appear to very much still be the Wild West. It does appear to be AOL 1996, right? Where it's like you're on the internet, but I mean, it's not a great experience, and you got to wait a long time for pages to load, and if somebody calls you on the phone, it disconnects. I mean, there's all of that stuff. I think the trustworthiness of the search results is going to get better, and I think people are learning that they can't really ask for very specific things through ChatGPT right now. You got to get can I get an opinion about something, or I've used it for trivia a lot.
That's cheating.
No, not a trivia game. Just like at the bar,
you can't use your phone.
Yeah, you can't use that. Can't use ChatGPT for that. Do you know what a cow ant is?
A cow ant?
Yeah, like a big red and black ant.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're on a hike. My wife says, that's not an ant. It's actually a female wasp. Okay, and I was like, that doesn't sound true. And so when we got back to the car, I'd asked ChatGPT about and sure enough, it's a female wasp.
A cow ant?
That cow ant is a female wasp.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, and the male is like a black widow kind of male. It's like tiny, tiny, tiny. It only exists to fertilize the female, and then it dies.
Wow.
And so there's not like a big male wasp that's flying around that this is the anyway. So, but that's the kind of thing I ask ChatGPT for a lot, which is that kind of thing. It's inconsequential. It doesn't really matter, whether we get it right or not. And we have been using AI for efficiency tasks and like helping to if I need a script to go from a minute and 20 seconds to 30 seconds, I say, can you rewrite this to be a 30-second script? And then it will rewrite it as a 30-second. We've been using it for things like cutting clips and stuff like that. But we haven't done any image generation stuff yet. I mean, we haven't been using it to generate images. It's just been, that's just not there yet, I don't think. So is there something you would use AI for that you wouldn't use? Like, is there something you would use another tool instead of AI? Do you have preferences still at this point?
That's a great question. And AI is getting like integrated into all the other tools as well.
Sure.
So sometimes it's like you don't even know if you're using AI
Right.
or not.
Mm-hmm.
I've used it a little bit for image generation, but it only gets you so far. Like I got it to make some little like graphic stickers for me.
Mm-hmm.
But then of course it's like when you transfer them to Canva, like they're not on the clear background, and so you have to go in and like edit them anyway.
Yep.
So there's a few just like little things like that. There's not a lot that I would consider to be like a final product to send a client that you could get from AI at the moment, but it can help you brainstorm and like different things like that.
It's efficiency stuff. It's like,
just get you in the right direction.
Help me narrow this down. Help me think out the points on this, or can you summarize? Or
totally.
I've been using it for YouTube descriptions. Like I'll feed a transcript of a video into ChatGPT and say, give me 100-word YouTube description, and it'll summarize it. And so I don't have to write the same stuff over and over again. It can kind of help me do all those things. It seems like you were talking about Apple. They got sued, right, for the iPhone 16 when they said that it was like AI enabled and it wasn't actually, and so they seem to be a little behind on that. Where I just got an update for my Android phone, and they integrated all kinds of AI stuff into the Android phone. Does Apple seem to be behind on this? I guess maybe that's why they'd be buying Perplexity if that's what's happening.
Yeah, I'm actually not sure
of
what you're referring to. I do know that like the larger companies are having a harder time integrating it than like an OpenAI or like a company that's fresh, because like the big ones have to maintain that level of trust with people, while like ChatGPT can be like a garbage fire for the first 2 years and everyone's like, oh, but it's so cool.
Nobody would even notice, right?
Right. Like if Google released like what the original ChatGPT was, everyone would be horrified and hate it and never adapt to it.
But because they were kind of first experience any of us really had with AI was ChatGPT, and so it can be rudimentary.
Totally. Yeah, and it can be like so cool, even though it's wrong 90% of the time, at least back then.
Well, my first experience with the internet was AOL. Got a little CD from the library, the little shelf on the library. You just get the CD and take it home, and you get 30 minutes free. So let's try it. You get one every week. I get 30 minutes every week. Just have to have a new account number.
Oh my gosh.
But and I feel like that's still where we are at this point. Like you can use it, but it's just not mature yet. It's not to that point. I think all of this is so interesting, and it's been very strange to have as many different industries as we've had on our couch, over the last year. Everything from boating, and we had Tyler Robertson from Diesel Laptops on here, and not just people in the tech space, but like people all over the place. They're talking about how AI is disrupting their industry. Are you concerned about the industry going forward? Are you like, SEO's been good to me, but I got to learn something else? Or are you still in a place where you're like, nah, let's just take this on?
So I think all SEOs are faced with a big choice at the moment, and we're noticing a lot of like large agencies that have just been in the game forever are jumping ship. They're like, we're done. We don't want to change all of our SOPs and start from scratch with this. But the scrappy agencies, which Hello SEO certainly is, this is our heyday. Like this is our like 2008. We're having a great time. There's a lot of tools hitting the market right now, and there's one called Scrunch that I never stop talking about on LinkedIn. And when that came out, I was like, this is my job security. Like this is like the future. And it has proven to be. And it's only been a couple of months since we've really been able to do some damage with an AI search, but it's just like an open landscape for us at the moment. Sure. It's very exciting.
Well, before a couple of months ago, I don't think I'd ever even thought about AI as a search tool. I haven't really thought about it. And I know people were talking about TikTok search for a while, you know, where that's a big deal. If you're on TikTok, you need to make yourself searchable and all that kind of stuff. But I hadn't heard anybody up until a couple months ago talking about AI search at all. Like it's so new. Right.
Yeah. And if you're on LinkedIn, you think it's like that Google doesn't exist anymore. Right. And if you're not showing up in AI, you're done. But that is not the case.
Right.
But it is like, if you can get in now, it's a really cool time to get in there.
Kind of the Malcolm Gladwell adoption curve, right? So we're kind of like right here on the upswing, and we're not to adoption yet, you know, and so we're sort of right there. And I always love to keep my eye on this stuff as it's coming up, because I don't want to get caught, you know. I don't want to get 2 years from now and go, oops, I didn't. I don't want to be Kodak. Exactly like what you're saying. I mean, there's carcasses of businesses lying out in the desert that didn't adapt, you know. Totally. And so it's definitely an interesting thing to do. So I think this is very cool that we have you as a resource, because otherwise I wouldn't know what the ups or downs are about it. If you ask my wife, it's the best thing that's ever happened. Yeah. You ask my daughter, she's not going to touch it with a 10-foot pole, no matter what happens. You know, and I'll say my daughter has decided recently that she really loves animation. She's taking an animation class at her high school. Cool. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, she's not going to start working for 8 to 10 years because she's 15. So she's going to go through college and all that kind of stuff. She's not going to start working for 8 to 15 years. I can imagine a world by the time she's there that animators are not really a thing, unless you're like, because, you know, I always say, like, if you want to make a lot of money, buy a horse and buggy, because you're the only guy with a horse and buggy, right? So if anybody needs one, you're the one that's got one, right? So you want to go on a parade, or you want to carry kids around a farm, or whatever it is, you're the one with a horse and buggy. And I would be interested to see how all of these industries kind of move forward with it, you know, as it goes through.
Yeah. And I think, like, using it for, I guess, art, for lack of a better term at this point, like, I think long term we're going to see a lot more, like, how do I say it? Like, the entry level stuff is going to be crap, but it already is.
Yes,
you know,
of
like
course,
it was garbage before we had AI.
Right. Always
but
was.
Then the thing, like, at the top, it's still going to be people, like, writing the good content. I don't think at any point we're going to sit down and, like, connect with a book that was written by AI in the same way that we would an author who we've been following for years.
It'll be fascinating for us to revisit this conversation in 10 years and say,
I know.
Oh, that's how it turned out.
Yeah.
Like we have no idea how it's going to turn out. And I think, you know, the possibilities are super crazy. Like once they get robots figured out, like actual anatomically correct robots, then you can't figure out if a person in front of you is really a real person. That's where it gets real scary. Yeah. That's where we get Blade Runner, you know, and that's not I don't think that's a world anybody wants to live in, but it'll be interesting to see kind of where it heads as we look towards it. All right. So Brian and I were talking about the fact that our repeat guests, we have a hard time with the 5 favorites because we've already asked you 5, right? So we can't really revisit those same ones. And I think we probably asked you what your favorite Taylor Swift record was last time. Probably. Has it changed at all? Does it change?
It does change. I think Torture Poets Department is my favorite at the moment. I might be the only person who that is their favorite. Who likes it
that much?
Oh, okay. God. It's just so good. It was such an experience.
Yeah. Well, can I tell you that I just recently re-listened to Peace Sells, But Who's Buying by Megadeth, and realized that wasn't my favorite Megadeth record anymore. My favorite Megadeth record is now Rust in Peace. So for all you Megadeth fans, it's definitely Rust in Peace because of Holy Wars and Hangar 18 and Tornado of Souls. There's the 3 great Megadeth records, Megadeth songs. So I'm with you. It changes. Yeah. So that's cool.
Let's try something new.
Okay.
Let's try either or.
Okay.
So puppies or babies?
Oh, puppies. Other than my baby.
Wow.
I get that.
Yeah.
I think that's everybody. You got a baby. You know,
What?
you don't like other people's babies.
Well, some people, like, we brought in our baby into the school, and like all of the
yeah.
ladies flocked.
But they don't
But
want to.
they wouldn't necessarily do that for a puppy. Maybe.
I don't know.
But that's why puppies are babies.
How old
Yeah.
is your baby?
He turned 10 months today.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Congrats. That's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Pencil or pen?
Pen. I can't even remember the last time I've seen a pencil.
Wow.
I'm not sure that I write with my hand enough to have a preference.
Me either.
Like,
So Elaine uses a pencil, like a mechanical, has to be a mechanical pencil
yeah.
to fill out her agenda, and I put it on my computer.
I will say that there's one of the few pleasures in life is getting a great pen.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like if you get like a pen that just writes really good, that's really good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel that. All right, you're on a roll. Keep going.
Salty or sweet?
Sweet.
100%.
100%.
I am right in the middle on that. I don't have any choice. I
Not
like them both.
You're not in your car. Front seat or back seat?
Front seat.
I
I'll
can't
go
imagine
first.
not driving. I rode somewhere with somebody a couple weeks ago. It was the first time I had ridden in the passenger seat in any car in as long as I can remember, and I was panicked. They were going very fast. They were distracted. There was traffic everywhere. I'm like, what are you doing? Like he would get up and change the song. And don't change the song. The song's fine. Like watch the road. You know, I don't know why that you feel like that when somebody else is driving, but it's terrifying.
Last one. Halloween decorations or Christmas decorations?
Oh. Probably Halloween. That's more fun.
Okay.
Yeah. I saw my first. There's the first.
That was 5 either ors.
Very good. Either or is great. I love it. Second guest gets an either or. We just made that. We just made that tradition. I saw my first Netflix Christmas movie came on this past week. I don't know why they're putting a Netflix Christmas movie on in October, but I'm there for it. And I talked to my wife. I'm like, I don't know if I've talked to you about this, but I have an obsession with Netflix Christmas movies.
No.
Do you know the Netflix Christmas cinematic universe?
I'm slightly familiar. Mostly with the princesses.
Yes, the princesses, right. But it goes wider than that. There's about 5 different series that all intertwine in a lot of ways. So there's one that just came on. And I talked to my wife, like, do I watch it now? Because it seems disingenuous to watch it before Thanksgiving.
Right.
You know? Like, I need to wait until at least after Thanksgiving to watch it. So
maybe. The PSL does come out mid-August now. So it's just fair game.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I will say that, this has been great. I love talking about this stuff. I love being able to pick the brains of experts, and I'd love to revisit this conversation as often as it changes.
Okay, so I'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, I know, because
It'll be
it changes all the time.
Sure does.
So, but it's very good to have you on, and stay tuned for next episode. We'll see you soon.